Have you ever wondered why displaying less interest might pique others' curiosity? In this episode, we unearth a counterintuitive strategy that could transform your romantic endeavors and make you appear more desirable. We're going to look at a fascinating blend of timeless Stoic lessons and modern love trends. While it may seem illogical, evidence and numerous stories support the idea that those who are less readily available often end up being sought after. In this video, we'll examine how mastering the skill of thoughtful withdrawal not only elevates your allure, but also improves your mental well-being. Stoicism advocates the virtues of self-sufficiency and personal development, arguing that the less we seek approval from others, the more naturally it arrives. Come along as we explore whether you could improve your love life by adopting this Stoic approach. Don't forget to hit like, share, and subscribe for more insightful conversations about fusing traditional wisdom with modern problems. Presently, let's start by pointing out that you have distinct areas of interest. Stoicism emphasizes the value of focusing on the things you can control and letting go of the things beyond of your control, especially in interactions with women. This way of thinking significantly increases your allure as opposed to continuously looking for approval and attention, which could come across as needy. Showing off your independence sends a powerful statement. Men who retain their own lives and passions outside of relationships are naturally attractive to women. By occasionally taking a step back and not constantly being available, you can show that you're involved in other fulfilling activities. Concentrating on your interests, pastimes, and personal growth demonstrates a strong feeling of independence and self-reliance, which are very attractive qualities. Suppose there was a man who enjoyed traveling. He would spend his vacations exploring new places, immersing himself in various cultures, and taking amazing pictures. When he shared his travel experiences, he showed off an adventurous and open life, demonstrating his independence and implying that he could provide a relationship full of novel experiences and viewpoints. Men who are highly valued also exhibit emotional strength by choosing their partners carefully. Rather than breaking their commitments at the first sign of interest from a woman, they maintain their priorities and build relationships based on respect and admiration, which exemplifies the Stoic virtues. Of stability and fortitude, unfettered by the requirement for outside approval, mature, confident, and self-assured men exhibit maturity, confidence, and self-assurance, qualities that enhance a man's appeal. It's about keeping your attention and core strength, not about playing games. This strategy makes you more captivating by introducing a degree of mystery and difficulty. The goal isn't to make her feel insignificant, but rather to show that you value your life and interests. This balance of autonomy and involvement can foster a deeper, more meaningful connection where both partners appreciate and respect each other's individuality. Women are often drawn to men who aren't easily influenced and who have a clear direction in life. The second is to foster mystery. When a man intentionally separates himself from a woman, he engages her innate need to be sought after and valued. This can pique her interest in him and fuel her pursuit instincts. Studies indicate that women are drawn to men who are elusive and maintain a sense of mystery. By not actively pursuing her attention, a man demonstrates his independence and lack of need for her validation. This approach is consistent with Stoic philosophy, which emphasizes that one's value is independent of other people's approval. Like the Stoic philosopher and Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius, who put his obligations ahead of receiving praise or attention, a man who doesn't constantly look for a woman's favor shows that he lives a purposeful life apart from her affirmation. This attitude is desirable because it exudes the strength and confidence that women find so attractive. It can also be complemented by maintaining a certain amount of mystery. Bring a stale romance back to life. Similar to keeping the spark alive in a relationship, bringing an element of the unknown can rekindle intrigue and inject excitement into their contact. A woman is kept interested and willing to learn more when she is unsure of a man's next move. Additionally, Stoic wisdom emphasizes the need of moderation and restraint. While fostering curiosity is helpful, striking a balance is essential. Being too distant from her could make her feel ignored or unimportant. The goal of art is to be unpredictable, exhibit compassion and love, but don't allow that take over your interactions. In this manner, you maintain your uniqueness and Stoic principles. Think about a relationship that is stable but feels too predictable. By allowing for occasional distance and solitude, you can bring back the excitement and anticipation in your relationship. This doesn't mean losing interest or becoming cold towards her. Rather, it means introducing brief periods of absence that make her value your presence more when you are together. This strategy works especially well in the modern world of constant communication because it shows that you are unique and that your life has meaning outside of your relationships. In short, by using this approach, you embody the Stoic ideal of behavioral and emotional mastery, going beyond simply the relationship. The goal is to truly live by Stoic ideals, rather than play games or manipulate others. You are not just reacting. Rather, you are responding with intention and creating a situation where she feels compelled to pursue you. Finding contentment in this naturally attracts people and gives you an air of mystery and confidence that makes them eager to connect with you. Number 3, emphasizes the value of keeping some distance from women in order to effectively communicate that your time is valuable and that you have a lot of other commitments. This position conveys an extremely appealing sense of self-worth and self-esteem. Women typically like people who put their personal needs and goals ahead of being always available. This approach affirms that you lead a busy and responsible life and aren't just waiting for her to call. It also subtly reinforces that you are self-assured enough to let her realize and respect the importance of your time by not always making her your top priority. Consider the following scenario. A woman contacts you while you're engaged in a significant activity, like working on a project or hanging out with friends. Rather than immediately abandoning your task, you can politely tell her that you are occupied and will get back to her later. This response not only demonstrates your commitment to your work, but also that you value your professional duties above casual conversations by adopting Stoic principles. You are intensely focused on a project that requires your undivided attention. If she reaches out during this time, you decide to reply during a break or after you have achieved a milestone. When you do respond, you might explain, "I was fully engaged in my project and needed to concentrate. What can I do for you now?" Keep in mind that you are in charge of your responses and activities. Refraining from acting in a hasty or accommodative manner preserves your peace of mind and sense of dignity. This behavior not only makes you appear more attractive, but also encourages a healthier, more fair partnership in which both parties value and respect one another's time and limits. Above all, when you respect your own time, you set an example for others to follow and project an image of a man of integrity who is difficult to get along with. This quality is very alluring and can entice women to pursue you because they know that they have to work hard to earn a meaningful place in your life. Therefore, whenever you find yourself tempted to put her needs ahead of your own, take a moment to reflect on your own worth and act accordingly. In doing so, you enhance your self-respect and desirability, laying the foundation for encounters that are more balanced and rewarding. If you've read this far and you're still with us, Please take a moment to leave a comment below with your ideas, or just say, "I respect your time," if you find the information meaningful. Your input is really helpful and helps us stay on track. Motivated to make more videos. Let's go on to number 4 now. Key characteristics that define a guy as truly magnetic in Stoicism are his ability to radiate assurance and confidence. These qualities are not only outward manifestations, they are the result of a deep sense of inner fortitude and self-worth. A strong sense of self-awareness and a reluctance to compromise are displayed by men who recognize their value and are detached from the need for women's acceptance. This type of behavior shows mastery over one's emotions, which is a fundamental tenet of Stoic philosophy, which emphasizes inner peace and reason. David, a staunch supporter of Stoic principles, understands that, when it comes to women, his value comes from his own moral character and values, rather than from other people's acceptance. Instead of trying to win their love or scramble for acceptance, David keeps his cool, displaying patience and self-respect. David protects his emotional well-being and preserves his dignity in relationships by not seeking instant fulfillment. David's method helps him make wise decisions in his relationships, since he doesn't let fleeting emotions or shallow attractions drive him. Instead, he builds his relationships on mutual respect and values his decision to ignore those who don't perceive his worth. Not only exhibits patience, but also a high degree of self-respect, which frequently attracts ladies drawn to him because of his confidence and the enigma. His poise and bounds, which he exudes, give him an attractive demeanor that amplifies his attraction. Women gravitate toward men who display confidence and assurance because these traits signify strength, reliability, and deep self-awareness. By adopting Stoic values and prioritizing self-respect and inner harmony, men can transform into charismatic figures who command respect and allure. David's resilience against external influences and his unwavering commitment to his principles are qualities that many women find highly appealing. They see him as a man of substance who is not easily influenced or controlled. Stoicism asserts that genuine confidence is internally sourced by focusing on enhancing personal virtues and emotional intelligence. Give up the need for validation from others and focus on developing your virtues instead. By doing this, you not only attract women to you, but also enhance your life by bringing more contentment and tranquility into it. Interestingly, not giving her constant attention can effectively awaken this drive and enhance her attraction towards you. This approach may seem counterintuitive, but it resonates with our ancestral heritage, where hunting and chasing were essential for survival and mating. These ancient impulses, though refined, continue to subtly influence our modern behaviors when something novel or desirable appears. Chasing a woman's interest is a crucial element in interactions, particularly in the romantic realm. This behavior even extends to romantic relationships. By keeping a little distance, you pique her interest and force her to close the gap between you. Imagine someone inundating you with texts or messages non-stop. At first it's flattering, but it quickly gets annoying and may even drive you away. This behavior is similar to intermittent reinforcement, in which infrequent rewards increase engagement more than continuous availability. By maintaining your emotional equilibrium and refraining from pursuing a woman fervently, you can protect your peace of mind and increase your attractiveness. Women tend to find this element of unpredictability more exciting and intriguing than a predictable and consistent emotional presence. She starts to see you as a man living on his own terms. Goals and values, someone who isn't desperate for her attention. Imagine always being available to her, always assessing to her requests. While this may appear as demonstrating interest, it often leads to being taken for granted. Conversely, if you prioritize your own ambitions, hobbies, and social engagements, occasionally declining her invitations due to genuine commitments, she will start to view you differently. She'll grow so curious about your activities and your unavailability, sparking greater interest and investment in pursuing you from a Stoic perspective. We stress the significance of remaining unaffected by external circumstances and preserving our inner calm. Seeking constant validation from a woman means letting your tranquility be dictated by her actions, by pulling back and not always being accessible. You regain your autonomy and demonstrate that your contentment isn't solely dependent on her attention. In essence, by not always being available, you trigger a woman's chase instinct, which is in harmony with Stoic teachings. This tactic not only preserves your self-respect and emotional well-being, but also enhances your attractiveness. The key is to focus on your own life and let her become close to you. By doing this, you give off an extremely alluring aura of mystery and independence. This approach is in line with Stoic wisdom and encourages a more harmonious and healthy dynamic in your relationships. If you've read this far and are still with us, please take a moment to leave a comment below with your ideas, or just type "Stop pursuing" if you find the information to be meaningful. Your input is really helpful and helps us come up with new videos. Let's move on to number 6. Develop self-sufficiency. When you seem as less reliant or in need of attention from women, you pique their interest more. Psychologically, you can add an air of mystery to your attraction by remaining somewhat distant. This method makes use of our innate curiosity. When someone doesn't behave as we would expect, we frequently assume there's more to their behavior. In other words, when someone we find appealing ignores us, our curiosity about why they would do something increases. Instead of reacting hastily or trying to win her approval, picture yourself engaging with a lady who is sending you mixed signals. Actively remove yourself from the situation. This doesn't entail being aloof or chilly, only acknowledging your own life and previous authority. Above her actions convey a strong need for privacy and alone, which is quite appealing. See how she reacts. She may feel that she needs to bring something significant and captivating to the table if she starts to show more interest or tries to engage you more. Your subtle detachment, which highlights your independence and confidence, may have piqued her curiosity and interest. This tactic supports the Stoic school of thought, which holds that we should concentrate on the things we can control and let go of the things we cannot. It also shows emotional maturity and resilience when one does not constantly seek the acceptance or attention of others. In plainer terms, you gain leverage when you don't give a damn about a woman's opinion or reaction. This doesn't mean you have to act indifferently. Rather, it demonstrates that your sense of fulfillment and self-worth come from within rather than from outside validation. You innately exude charm and respect. Men who exhibit confidence and self-sufficiency tend to attract women because it conveys strength and capability. Putting Stoic principles into practice in your relationships with women entails realizing the importance of emotional forbearance and self-control. It's about controlling your impulses rather than letting them control you. When you demonstrate that you can stay composed and independent regardless of the circumstances, it signals profound internal fortitude. Remember, being independent isn't about isolation, but about self-reliance and emotional stability. It means having your own pursuits, ambitions and interests, and while you're willing to share these with someone special, your happiness doesn't hinge on their attention. This perspective is immensely appealing as it embodies maturity and a well-rounded character. So the next time you catch yourself overly concerned with winning a woman's attention, embrace the Stoic ethos of independence. Show that you lead an engaging life, independent of her validation. The This not only increases your attractiveness, but also empowers you to live your best life. Embrace the internal strength that independence fosters, letting it guide and enhance your interactions. Number 7. You avoid the pursuit of validation. Stoic philosophy emphasizes the value of focusing on your own deeds and attitudes rather than seeking acceptance from others. This self-reliance principle works well in relationships because men who don't actively seek women's approval tend to come across as more self-assured and attractive. By displaying emotional resilience and self-sufficiency, you can enhance your attractiveness without actively seeking a woman's approval. Think about using these Stoic-inspired techniques to quietly convey your independence and self-assurance. When a conversation with a lady, whether light-hearted or in-depth, naturally comes to an end, politely say goodbye and move on. Do not stay in the hopes of continuing the exchange. In the age of digital communication, this action doesn't imply dismissal. Rather, it shows that you respect your own time and don't depend on her attention to feel confident. If you're just getting to know a lady, it's tempting to text too often, which might come across as desperate. Instead, try sending her thoughtful texts once in a while, rather than a lot of them all the time. Her curiosity was piqued by this restrained communication, which embodies the Stoic virtues of moderation and self-control. It also shows that while physical proximity can improve a relationship, it should always be voluntary and thoughtful. Your self-esteem does not depend on how often you engage online. While your relationship develops, indulge in light-hearted touches like holding hands or putting your hand on her arm, but accept her desire for closer embraces or kisses. It demonstrates your respect for her boundaries and your control over your urges to give her the room to establish closer contact when she feels comfortable. In line with Stoic ideas about self-control and respect, practicing Stoicism allows you to concentrate on controlling the things within your control. When you interact with women from a place of authenticity and self-assurance rather than constantly seeking validation, you become more appealing and build more meaningful, respectful relationships. The 8th, create tension in your relationship by deliberately ignoring her and taking no action. This will cause her to wonder about your sentiments and thoughts about her, which will cause her to consider your interest in her. Draws from Stoic philosophy, which championed control over emotions and desires, and fosters deeper involvement in the relationship psychologically. This tactic is known as intermittent reinforcement. It involves giving occasional rewards for specific behaviors that have a significant impact on relational dynamics, emphasizing the importance of inner strength and independence while displaying less regard for a woman's thoughts or feelings about you is consistent with Stoic beliefs. This entails placing your values first in life and ambitions regarding the requirement for outside approval. This method not only builds your own strength, but also amplifies your allure by incorporating a hint of mystery. Take into consideration the following scenario. One day, you become engrossed in a deep conversation with a woman, demonstrating genuine interest. The next day, however, you may decide to focus on hobbies or hanging out with friends, reducing the attention you give her. This unpredictable nature heightens her interest in a similar way to how giving a sincere compliment once but withholding praise on subsequent occasions can create a dynamic where she strives harder for your validation and attention, ultimately leading her to pursue you more earnestly. Stoicism teaches us to be calm and unaffected by our feelings, so that our actions are not guided by other people's reactions. By letting go of the urge to predict a woman's reaction at all, you can project confidence and retain emotional stability. Because of your unwavering confidence, you arouse her interest and increase her commitment to the relationship. You also embody the classic Stoic quality of being impenetrable to outside disturbances. With its embrace of Stoic tenets and infrequent reinforcement, this approach not only protects your emotional well-being, but also portrays you as a steady and trustworthy characteristic that is, in essence, universally appealing. You create an exciting and dynamic interplay in your relationships. The secret is to cultivate your inner fortitude and self-reliance, which naturally endears you to people as number 9. Develop emotional balance with the Stone philosophy. A balanced and fulfilling life is based on developing emotional equilibrium. This principle is even more important in relationships, especially with women. When you choose to distance yourself from a woman, you demonstrate strong emotional equilibrium and self-control. This behavior shows that you don't depend on other people's approval and that you consistently uphold your self-worth. Take into consideration the Stoic practice of remaining unaffected by outside events and concentrating on your inner state. Being emotionally resilient shows that your happiness and sense of self-worth are independent on other people, especially women. Self-sufficiency and inner strength are very attractive qualities. For example, picture a situation in which a woman pushes your limits or always needs your approval, rather than expecting you to respond to her advances or provocations right away. Remain composed. This is about showing that you're not fazed by her acts and that you don't let them dictate how you respond, not about being cold or unkind. You exhibit emotional maturity and self-control. Let's use communication as another illustration. If a woman is evasive or gives you conflicting signals to gauge your interest, take your time responding. Instead, consider your values and respond carefully. This methodical approach not only accentuates your emotional stability, but also sets you apart as a strong, self-assured individual by emulating Stoic virtues. You radiate stability and confidence naturally. Women are drawn to guys who exhibit these traits because they convey a strong foundation that can adapt smoothly to life's changes as you do. Engaging in emotional stability entails not detachment or indifference, but rather maintaining your composure in the midst of turmoil. It means proving that you can remain poised and composed regardless of external disruptions. Shift your attention from seeking approval to developing your inner resilience. This will make you more captivating. In addition to being endearing, this kind of resilience is essential for building strong, long-lasting relationships by upholding Stoic principles and encouraging emotional balance. By using this tactic, you not only make your life better, but also attract the attention of women who see you as a person worthy of their time and affection and a bastion of dependability and worthiness. It also makes you more attractive and opens the door to more meaningful relationships. We explored the intriguing idea of strategic detachment and how it relates to the age-old lessons of Stoicism. Keep in mind that putting your own development first and avoiding undue dependence on praise from others can significantly boost your attractiveness and promote more meaningful and courteous relationships. It's not about being indifferent. Rather, it's about having self-respect and emotional independence, which, ironically, makes you more attractive in a Stoic way. Stay calm and independent. Let your pursuit of inner tranquility and self-improvement guide you instead of the fleeting approval of others. By embracing these attributes, you'll not only become more appealing to others, but also experience greater levels of personal fulfillment. We appreciate you joining us as we examine how relationships in the modern day might benefit from the practical lessons found in ancient philosophy. If you liked this video and found it useful, please let us know by giving it a rating between 1 and 5, where 1 is the lowest and 5 is the highest. Your input is greatly appreciated and helps us create content that will provide you with more insights into how Stoicism can transform your daily experiences. Remember to subscribe and turn on the notification. Sign up with bell to ensure that you never miss our newest releases. If you're eager to learn more about Stoicism and interpersonal relationships, check out our suggested videos here. Until the next time, always remember that investing in yourself is the most profitable decision you can make. Keep learning and growing.